share your mic. There you go.
Hello, hello.
God damn it, Landon.
That's gonna be bright.
That is bright.
That's gonna be bright. Yep.
There we go. Getting into my chair the easiest way I know.
Someone's phone is going off.
Sorry.
Who is it?
Matt.
Weekend alarm? It's 2:30. It's when I wake up.
That's normally when you wake up.
It's when you wake up.
Who's here because they couldn't get into off topic? Anybody? Oh, they got a couple.
Couple.
Off topic.
They're actually here for us
A
too.
year from now.
Less than I thought.
I like your honesty.
Laser beam is here.
Thank you. You're wrong. You're wrong, but thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome everyone to the Nice Socks and How to Wear Them panel.
Yeah.
I lost my voice.
Same.
So, do we want to introduce ourselves? Starting at that way.
Hi, I'm Steffi. I'm the best achievement hunter. I do the social media and community management, and I also bring food for everybody.
She's also allowed to lie.
Hi, I'm Larry. I'm the worst achievement hunter. I'm the lead editor and the shifty guy.
Cool. I don't know. I had a microphone.
Let's just keep
like,
passing
right
that
here.
down so Steffi doesn't have one.
Hi, I'm Matt. There we go. I creative lead and do stuff. Thank you.
Hello. I'm Trevor, also the supervising producer of Achievement Hunter, and Neil.
I appear in the background of videos. And I also edit Grand Theft Auto.
Get your own mic.
Huh?
I really wanted to use everyone else's mic. I'm Ashley. I sit by the door, and you see me in some videos.
She's a trooper.
The stream door.
The stream door. I edit 7 Days to Die and a bunch of other Let's Plays that you guys see.
All right, my name's Kent. I produce all the sponsored content, and I edit a lot of the live action content. So between the games and AWU and anything that is live action. So.
I'm Andy, and I make all thumbnails for Kent.
That's not a lie. That's very true.
Very accurate.
Throwing shade right away, huh?
This is just, the stand's just annoying.
Yeah, let's just hold it.
I'll be the stand for you, Matt. It was honest though, honest shade. We didn't really plan anything for
As
this
usual.
For this panel. So we were mostly gonna do like Q&A because this is mostly where you guys ask us how videos are made, what we do to make them, how do you edit them, how do you stay alive, you know, questions like that. How do you deal with the stress of it all? Well, I cry myself to sleep. So, do we want to start lines at either mic and just kick it off with Q&A?
Hey, fun fact, I
Yeah.
have some free stuff too.
Steffi's got free stuff for good questions.
Did you bring candy this year?
No, just merch from the office.
Damn it. Oh, sweet. Thanks, man.
Do not eat that.
Are those pocket Skittles? They got that shifty flavor. Are you gonna poison people? What's wrong with you?
I did a thing this morning.
What, poison some Skittles?
So a couple months ago, Matt Bragg, I went out of town.
You did.
Then you were a big ol' asshole. I came back and all the loot boxes were gone.
You're welcome.
So this morning, can you bring the thing up here? Thank you.
What did he do?
So I went to the office.
Uh-huh.
I grabbed your copy of Overwatch. I know it's yours. It sounds weird. Because it's filled with Skittles.
Sweet.
You broke my looties. I'm going to break your heart by breaking your Overwatch.
Why do you do that to me?
Break it. Can you hold this?
Do it.
Oh my God.
Larry, use your strength. You got it. Need some scissors?
It really is Game of the Year!
It's indestructible.
That's that Blu-ray technology. It's
I
indestructible.
can't wait to play my baguette of Overwatch.
Your game is now impotent, so enjoy.
I'll wear it as a hat. Yeah.
Sign it, Larry.
You know, that's actually kind of bad for you. No more bonus XP for playing together, butthole.
So last year, Larry, didn't you propose to Matt?
Yeah, and this year I'm telling him to fuck off.
It's been a hell of a year. I'll do a case. Do you want to sign it?
There's two sides. So, Trevor?
Left. Cool. Or your right. How's it going?
Pretty good. My name's Ian, and
It's so bright. You're angelic out there, all of you.
You don't need to see us.
Oh, okay. I
No
don't need to
worries,
see
yeah,
you. The
no worries.
faceless men and ladies.
so my question is, with all the chaos at the office and all the shenanigans that go on, how do you guys manage it all, and how do you kind of work together with everyone's schedule, since everyone tends to be all over the place?
I brought a helmet.
Someone sent us mining helmets. That really helps.
We have
But-
weapons to defend ourselves. We know the
It's
code to
true.
get in the room.
I'm dead inside now.
There are definitely days that are more chaotic than others. Usually the chaos happens when people are missing. We get bored, and you don't let Achievement Hunter be bored for too long.
I'm raising an army of sea monkeys.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for my city of gold that they haven't started building yet.
Did you feed them this weekend?
I fed them Wednesday.
They're fucking dead.
Well, they don't eat all the time.
How do
They
you
eat
expect
like
them
once
to
a
build
week,
shit
I
on an
think.
empty stomach?
I don't know. Some are already killed because they were like stuck on the spoon when I was stirring the
All right,
water.
cannibalism.
So is that you feeding them?
You're supposed to stir the water. That's what it says. They like chaos. I don't know.
I have a question for Andy.
Go for it.
Again, getting bored. How long is it until you drink those sea monkeys for video?
I'll do it for a video. Anything for content.
If you drink them, can we get you X-rayed to see if the city's inside of you?
Oh my God. Yeah. What if I just shit a city of gold?
Or like the worms in Futurama.
Oh man,
Get over here.
But
those are good Skittles. I really do hope he didn't poison them. I had one.
to seriously answer
There.
that question, sometimes
Where are
you
you?
guys
I
just
can't see.
create chaos.
Especially Ryan.
And you just have to like roll with the punches because sometimes like you don't
Sometimes
know.
they just punch you, and it hurts.
Yeah,
And sometimes you punch back.
yeah. Sometimes we
that
have to
fucking
take
smoke
smoke
grenade.
grenade breaks.
Fuck that thing.
You
Go
take
get a
strategic
coffee.
days off. When smoke grenades happen, you don't make sure you're sick or something.
Also, that's still a sore subject, FYI.
We don't take days off, though. I stayed late that day.
You did.
And we're all going in tomorrow too,
You were
right?
so
we don't get
pissed.
days off.
No days.
I was livid.
You were. It was actually really funny for me. But the main point, you did. You stayed through that. All the coughing and the wheezing and the just being unable to see anything.
Hello.
Hi.
First question is, Matt, could you possibly sign my phone for me?
Not right now.
Okay.
I'm doing something.
No, absolutely. The second question is,
What could possibly be more important? We'll definitely sign stuff at the end, for sure.
Okay.
We'll like do things off to the sides. Yep.
and then second question is, what's a typical day for you guys?
Who wants to start?
Depends who you're
Who has a
day.
typical day?
I actually do. For about an hour, I actually read all social media, Tumblr, Reddit, YouTube comments, everything. It's rough, man. No, I look for fan art a lot and try to figure out if there's something that somebody mentioned, like, oh, there was a problem with an edit, like, this sounds weird, like, so I'll send it to an editor so they can fix it. Or I'll retweet fan art or make sure things are noticed and things like that. And
So you tattle on them.
yes.
That's what it is. Okay, cool.
And I do a lot of writing most of the day because I have to write copy for tweets, for sponsors, for a bunch of other stuff. It's really boring.
Don't forget the Starbucks runs.
And I go to Starbucks at least once
You get the
a day.
Starbucks runs too? Every morning.
Usually once in the morning and later in the afternoon.
It's a lot of runnage.
Oh, sweet.
I'm not Steffi, so I don't look at the social media all day. I work. I'm kidding. That's your job. That's your job. That was mean. I'm sorry.
I'd say the greatest
No,
thing
that-
about being achievement hunters is like you never know what you're going to be doing like each day. Like it's always something different. Like whether it's something good or bad, it's always chaotic, and it's the best thing and also the worst thing about it.
So just FYI, I also do other stuff, not just tweet all day.
And Starbucks.
And Starbucks. There's more to it. But no, I still get food deliveries for you guys sometimes. And
That's true.
You make my thumbnails.
I make thumbnails a lot too.
Oh yeah, you do Awu thumbs, right?
I do a lot of photoshopping.
I asked you to do a thumb when I realized I needed it like 20 minutes ago.
So usually they tell me at the last minute when I tell them, hey, give me about an hour notice. So
I always ask you nicely, though.
no, he doesn't.
Shut up. Oh, what? What's up?
What's your typical
My
day?
typical day? So I get in, I play some games and test them to see if they're gonna be good for Let's Plays or something, and then I'll try and make a video out of maybe things to do, maybe a little skit. Who knows? I kind of let the day take me where it will, and that's my day.
Let the day take you. Well, it starts off with snoozing about 20 times. I wake up a bit groggy because I stayed up too late. Go to the bathroom, spend about 20 minutes, maybe more, on my Starbucks runs. Brush my teeth every day, every morning.
Poop
Well,
jokes. They're great.
A shower. No, my day is super variable. Depends on if it's a Monday, it's loaded with meetings. If it's a Friday, it's like usually chaos. But generally speaking, it's a lot of scheduling and planning ahead for the week, what the content's going to be, what the status is on the edits, who's in, who's not in, and then coordinating, like looking at our needs and what we have, and then putting those together to figure out what our schedule is that week. Yep.
I do. I've got a notebook that has a list of things for me to do every day because I'm a terrible organizer and I need that list. But I think at the top of the list is check the calendar and check email and check Slack. Then make sure I've got everything copied over from our server of any footage, put it onto my computer so I can start working, and then edit until lunch. And after lunch, keep editing till the end of the day. Make sure everything's put where it needs to be. Create thumbnails, don't forget to do that. Create metadata, don't forget to do that. And say goodnight to everybody and go home and play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Can you put check Slack like 5 more times in there? Just like scheduled throughout the day?
I will make an 8B and a 11B.
Thanks,
just
man.
to, yeah.
Like an
check
alert
more.
too on your phone.
I get shit for this.
Now we got to steal his notebook.
So me and Neil are both pretty hardy editors, so we kind of have a very similar schedule. Get in. I have a online document that keeps track of all the videos, because you're usually working on 2 or 3 a week, so you got to juggle that, figure out which one is the most priority, work on that one, maybe throw a clip for social to Steffie, maybe do a thumbnail, but mostly editing all day, and then maybe 1 Starbucks run every week.
Only once a week.
Maybe.
We're all very sick.
All right, so I usually get in and check emails to see if there's any notes for any of the sponsor videos. That way we have time to make changes, get another link, send it back to the client, and then I usually just I cut a lot of things to dos also, or live action videos obviously, so I grab the first thing I haven't done and I just work on that for the rest of the day, and that's about it.
Yeah, Kent and I are usually the early birds. We're usually the first ones in, and then the first ones to leave, so it's kind of nice. So first thing I do is usually if I had a video come out like that day, I always check the comments to make sure I didn't fuck anything up because I'm always petrified about that. And if everything's good, then I move on, check the calendar, work on my edits. Kent usually will Slack me 2 or 3 times a day to make my thumbnail, and then I pause my work and then we go get coffee, and yeah.
That was the Boston thing.
Yeah.
It was like everything was normal, and then he goes, and then we go get coffee. Just
I said it right.
super,
I'm gonna get a
super
fucking
Boston.
cup of coffee. It's it's all good.
And then everything else normal.
Yeah, coffee. And then
Now.
have a piece of gum. Keep my desk. Play with the lightsaber at my desk. Now I got a new one, better one. That's probably not gonna
But
go. to
can
the
you
office.
brush your teeth with this one?
No, I do have a, thanks to Steffi for a Secret Santa, she did give me a lightsaber toothbrush. So it makes sounds, so I play with that sometimes.
Cuts right through your teeth.
Yeah, usually when I'm rendering, I just play with the toys on my desk and get more coffee.
I'll answer without being mean to Steffi this time. Yeah, I mean, I kind of split my time, much like Neil and Ashley and Kent, sitting down, doing edits, working on that, getting that done, all that kind of fun stuff. And then also sort of kind of overseeing the rest of the editorial team. So a lot of times a day, I'll get stopped by like Kent or Neil or Ashley who are like, I did this fun little dumb thing, come and look at it. And then I'll be like, yeah, that's good. Or I'll be like, no, get rid of that. That's not, try again. I love your enthusiasm for trying. And then also, when videos are done, the editors send them to me, so I'm trying to watch as much of the content as possible. So trying to catch anything that messed up in editorial, so hopefully we can mitigate that so videos don't go on the website with issues. It still happens. We put out so much content every week. So that's when you can say to me, I don't watch videos all day. I work. There you go.
I'll really quick throw out.
I don't want to be mean to you because I'm nice.
All right, sure. That's a lie, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I will. Larry will help myself and Andrew Panton test out some things to do, and you'll help with building every once in a while,
Yeah,
too.
it'll
Whenever you got
basically
some
go
time.
like this. Hey, Larry. Yeah? Do you have any time right now? No. Turn on GTA.
You've been good about it lately. I don't know. You have probably been filling in other parts of your job, but you've been doing great for me. Appreciate it.
So, coming from a group of editors, what is the single hardest part of editing for each of you?
Every time Premiere crashes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's the answer.
I mean,
Yeah, honestly, Adobe Premiere has kind of taken a shit recently, and that is definitely the biggest stress of our day. It'd be nice for that to get.
Adobe, are you watching?
We're
Fix the
calling you.
shit.
We're calling you out,
Fix it.
Adobe.
We're going back to Stony Vegas.
Actually, it's
Fine.
Windows Movie Maker 5.
Can we just
good
can we
one,
just do a
it's
week
just
all of this
stable.
iMovie edits? Can we do that with little title
Oh,
cards
God.
and?
You're gonna see some weird stuff.
Use PowerPoint and make it into an MOV.
I really think, though, to answer your question, technical issues. I mean, whether something didn't record right or Premiere crashes, like we've all said, that's a huge hurdle to get over because it slows everything
If
down.
someone forgot to put their game audio on or turn it off,
Or
we
footage
have
and you gotta
to-
go
I'm
track it
sorry,
down.
all right? Just calm down.
Also, in a very technical editing part, I know you guys watch a lot of Let's Plays or Achievement Hunter, and somehow the guys always tend to have something amazing happen to two people at the exact same time. And it's really like one of those like, oh, I thought today was going to be an easy day. No, but it's not too hard, but it does take a little bit more of your time to figure out like, what do I want to show? How do, because in a perfect world, you could show it like in tandem, but sometimes you just got to choose one or the other, that sort of thing. So that can get a little difficult.
I think when you've been editing for a while, the biggest challenge is monotony, and the best things are actually the challenges that are creative. So if there's ever a situation where it's a different setup and you got to figure out how to edit a new setup, it's a challenge, but it's actually easier for you because you're into it and it's exciting. Technical challenges are not fun. That's like I have a workflow, I want to get into the creative stuff, and I have to stop because I have to get all these audio pops because the mic was weird that day. I have to find a declicker setting that's going to work for this, and it's not working well. I have to re-render it a bunch of times. Like whatever, those suck. But creative challenges, after you've been editing for a while, you actually kind of love those and relish those. And you like every time there's a different video or a different thing happening in the videos where the guys had a fun idea and you get to be excited and making the idea as fun to watch as it could possibly be.
Yeah, actually, kind of speaking to that, Neil, who in here saw the Friday the 13th video we did with all the Let's Play groups? Oh, you can say woo, raising. There we go. That sounds so much better.
Woo.
Way better than the
Neil
blonde
had the
pants.
challenge of editing that, and that was a really cool. I think, and I can't speak for you, but I think you said this.
No,
that it was
that
such
was-
a cool
yeah.
challenge.
That was by far the most fun I've had editing a video in a long time. I really liked Chicken Scream for the Play Pals, and I liked that one because both those I had to do something different, whether it be After Effects or just having to cut every channel's audio uniquely and balance them each time. And while I was at it, making it feel as cinematic in its transitions as possible. It was much more satisfying, even though it took a lot more time. And I would love to do that again if we could possibly do it again, but we'll see.
I sit adjacent to Neil, so every once in a while I'd always just look over his shoulder and see what he was working on, and it was always something amazing and funny. Like he did a great edit with Steven Suptic with the pills. It's like that was really great. You're welcome, Neil. He said thank you. I wasn't like being sarcastic. He said thank you, but not into the
Andy.
mic.
You can come in on
With a
this.
genuine, you're welcome.
Aw.
Hi, you guys are some of my favorite achievement hunters, and I just wanted to know what is your favorite video you've worked on so far?
I already spoke on that. I think Friday the 13th is my favorite.
I would say the Battlefield Master Edit with everyone's perspective was my favorite.
Something that's starting next week, Michael touched on it, but we have a Let's Watch of Game of Thrones coming out. It's coming out every single day next week, and it's going to lead up into the season premiere of Season 7 on Sunday. I edited all 6 of those videos. Every single one but one is over 2 hours long. And they made a drinking game out of it, so every time somebody of importance dies, they took a shot. And that was fun to edit. So I did some My Little Quote Andy edits, which is like the weird, stupid shit in there. So I'm excited for those to go out. They start Monday for first members. So look forward to that.
That's exciting. So I have 2. I edited the Play Pals Guts and Glory, which I love those Play Pals intros. They're so much fun. Another one that I did was Hanging with Little J. That was a lot of fun. That was a ton of footage. I think Gavin had his iPhone on for 2 hours that day. And it was like, okay, now we got to make a 10-minute video out of that. So it was a lot of fun. It was a creative challenge for sure.
I really like the pleasures of cooking with Link. That video was really fun just to make in general, because all it was me in a room kind of riffing lines and then recording Zelda stuff to make it fit. Then after that, just making it dumb. So,
For completely masochistic reasons, Uno the movie.
I don't get to edit, but my favorite thing in the world is when Matt comes over and is like, I have an idea. And that's how we got 99 dead balloons and Cooking with Link, and he showed me those, and I am usually dying or crying because they're really good, and I look forward to when he ever has a stupid idea.
should have just said no.
No, it's still one of my favorite. 99 dead balloons is still one of my favorite videos that we've done.
I'm glad you liked it.
I still hate you, Matt, for having us play arms, but with our legs. My legs are still sore from that.
I didn't realize I needed to be doing that every day to train for RTX. I'm not ready. I can't walk this
Yeah,
much.
that whole video was just like a promotion for Fit for RTX. It was just 5 minutes of 2, overweight men just flailing their legs.
Did you just eat? Hang on. Did you just eat a Skittle? What's wrong with you? He hasn't been in here for forever.
Just sorry to interrupt. She just ate one of the Skittles.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Sorry, no, I was so sorry.
Well, if you've been, you're sitting right here. Pay the fuck attention. Sorry, that was
So
me.
is that poison?
Good on you, by the way. Good on you.
What's up?
I actually have 2 questions. Firstly, you guys are essentially best friends. That's fair to say, right? So, yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
We're all
how-
strangers.
Oh, that's strangerhood. Anyways, how often do you guys have to, tell another coworker or your best friend that, hey, right now it's time to work. We can't play right now. Does that happen often? And that's my first question.
Trevor will put his boss pants on every once in a while. He'll be like, all right, gang, settle down.
Settle down now, Andy. That's how I have to say it, or it doesn't work. Then I have to soothe him for 20 minutes.
He'll just take
He
the little
calms
toy
down.
lightsaber, the $4 Kylo Ren lightsaber I had, and he'll just swing that around, and he'll be like, listen up, gang. I mean business.
He knows when the lightsaber comes out, it's business time.
And
I guess we're actually pretty good at working. Funny enough, you'll come into the office and you hear them screaming on the other side of the wall. Then you'll come into our just dead silent. Just hear the clicking, click.
It's pretty. It's like we're so unfazed by it. If a visitor was coming, they're looking all around, but you hear Michael screaming at the top of his lungs through the wall, and we're just yep, whatever. That's just a typical day. Or if they're in the stream room just getting drunk out of their minds, it's yeah, just a regular day. And then a smoke bomb happens.
That interrupts the day a little bit.
and the second question, I have a friend. He wants to do a collaboration with you guys. His name is Dial on Sour Mango from the Internet Box.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. For some reason, he keeps bringing up A Bug's Life, wants to do a Let's Watch in that. I don't know.
Dylan, are you here? Yeah, it's not happening. Fuck off. He's at RTX. If he couldn't make it here, he can go fuck himself.
There's always obviously a lot of content that gets cut just because you have to edit for time, or this joke didn't quite pull. But there's definitely some things that get missed. So how do you decide what jokes get cut out, what parts of the video get cut, and what gets left in? How do you make that decision?
I mean, I think most of it's honestly just a judgment call from us. I mean, that's what, as editors, we have that creative freedom to be as creative as we can. So we're going to leave in what we feel like is the key moments that you guys are going to want to see. So, I mean, obviously we have to cut stuff down a little bit. Otherwise, we'd have way too long of videos for every video we do. But I feel like we do a pretty good job at.
I always like to mitigate the concern that like good content gets cut, because especially when they're like, oh, we've been recording for an hour and a half, and you're like, what? This is at the 40-minute mark. Like, we usually cut stuff that you wouldn't want to watch, legitimately wouldn't want to watch. It's downtime. They're not talking. They're literally just like cleaning up or whatever, like if it's Minecraft. Like, so things get cut down, but we make sure that 100% everything that you watch is the good stuff. So you might feel like you're missing out on something, but the editors do a great job at making sure that that doesn't happen.
Every once in a while, something does have to be cut. Like, who was it that sent me a video of Jeremy singing? We couldn't put the music on YouTube, so we put it on social. So we really do try to get everything out.
I'll give a little bit of a specific example, a little bit of the sausage factory here. So with Grand Theft Auto, we did a recent one with rocket bikes. And that was a really fun episode. The ending of it, I think when you watch the video, there's a nice satisfying buildup of them trying and failing a bunch of funny ways. And then like some ridiculous glitches happen, a bunch of near misses. Several of them like bounce off of the top of their goal. And like, you're getting ready for this big finale. In reality, I think that went on maybe 10 minutes longer than I cut it. And it was just a matter of like, they were getting really close, but it was just, they were getting a little frustrated. I think the frustration was making me as watching it and I didn't getting frustrated. If I cut the frustration, it was so much more satisfying, I felt like. And also, like, there's like, we got good segue, basically like that glitch with Gavin and then the finale. And it just came out as a better video. Like, I could feel it was better, and that was the instinct.
Neil, what are you talking about? It happened exactly how you cut it.
Every time. Actually, like, they actually just, like, they plug in one Xbox to the monitor, and they switch the plugs to different Xbox.
Just for you.
It's just one monitor that we're capturing.
Super simple
the
for
whole time.
This is from Twitch. It was a friend asking, what's the favorite GTA Let's Play you've had for editing?
That's a Neil question.
Yeah, it's like you go for it.
Okay.
Trevor, Neil, yeah.
Maybe we should pick each one, I guess. I really liked the first one with webcams when Jeremy was in the high chair.
Yeah.
High chair is the best way to say that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. when Jeremy's in his big boy baby seat, and he's like 10 feet up, and I put the webcam in the top right corner, had them three on the bottom of it, so they could be looking up, and like people said it was like Brady Bunchy, and then like the rest of the video, it's mostly normal, and I also like, that one I had to cut down a lot too, because there was like a bunch of queue time, there's a lot of just driving to get to the CEO office or whatever it was to call them back into it. It was a long video cut down to just about an hour. Lots of webcams. That was just a crazy good at GTA in the end too. Like I ended up watching it myself several times afterwards because it came out well.
I think my favorite GTA to edit was Every Bullet Counts, because I played around with the webcam. That was like, I think some of the first stuff that we did where we played around with the webcams, like peeking in and moving around, so you could like continuously see the other people. Like, yeah, you're stuck on maybe like Jack's angle or something, but you're seeing how Jeremy reacts when he takes an axe to the back of the head or something. So, and Larry's kind of evolved that form into other Let's Plays like Gmod and stuff. So yeah, I had fun with that.
Okay. Hi guys, I want to say first off, thank you for all the work you do. You do amazing work, and I know Achievement Hunter like wouldn't exist without you. So thank you so much. And then I have more of a social media question. So what do you decide, like what goes on what platform? Because I know you've said that you spend a lot of time going through like all of the fan art and the different platforms, and just how do you decide what goes where and what actually gets responded to?
It really depends. Like for Facebook, Facebook is a weird monster. Like if I can put subtitles on it, like if they're all screaming and they're all yelling, it's hard to put subtitles on that, and subtitles just do better on Facebook. It's the way people interact with videos there. I'll throw up anything on Twitter. It's the garbage can of achievement hunter. It's just everything's there.
It's all gold. What are you talking about, trash?
It's gold, beautiful gold. Instagram, I'm still playing with. I like to put more clean stuff there. And then Tumblr is just fan art, fan fiction. No, more fan-oriented stuff on there.
One of my favorite things is when I give you a video and you're like, hey, can you give me like a script or something for that for Facebook so I can put subtitles? And I'm like,
Well, it's because I'm sitting there, I was like, I have no idea what he just said, and I'm listening to like 30 times until it's just like, just numbing, and I just hear Matt's voice in my head, and I can't deal with that.
It's always great when I don't know what I said too. So,
But no, it's the audiences and how they interact. I still test things out. I'm still experimenting. If something doesn't work, then I move on. It's just social media is always changing, and it's fun to figure out what people are doing.
Cool.
What do you guys want for this year?
What are you dressed as?
Tomato.
What?
The tomato character.
oh, is that tomato?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. Yeah.
Hey, man, I can't
Hello?
see you. There's a very bright light.
I'll be coming up in a second to get the shirt anyway.
Oh shit,
Okay,
it's
cool.
tomato.
He makes a 3D print.
I've done
Dude,
that.
you know what I want this year? I want you to have the best year you can possibly have, man. You seriously make so much awesome stuff, and I love it. Thank you so much. I don't want anything else.
I want the smoke bombs to disappear, all of them. They're still
They're hidden, and I found them, and I know where they are.
okay.
They'll
that's
never
fine.
go away.
I want them to disappear after they've been used. On a day where I don't have to stay late, if they all go off in our room.
Where else would they go off?
Also, on a real level answer. How about more role playing?
I will role play. That's seriously one thing I really want us to do. I've tried to get Jeff and the main guys to just go into an Overwatch RP server and just see how that goes. They're hesitant for some reason. I don't know what the problem is. One day we'll have that.
For a real answer, I don't know. I've had a really good year. I've been really enjoying doing in social media and all that stuff. I'm more fan art of the guys because I like sharing that and promoting artists and community events, and that's all. You guys are great.
I want more short form comedy clips from Matt.
That too.
No. I'm just kidding. I'm going to do that.
And animations. I like the animations.
I guess a serious answer would be, I guess just new games that bring out the best in their comedy, because those are the best to edit, you know? Maybe even more scary games.
Personally, I can't wait for Halloween because I love cutting jump scare stuff. But gosh, I don't know.
What do you want, Kent?
What do I want?
Santa, what you want?
More than anything?
What do you want more than anything, Kent?
I mean, you, Andy, duh.
Oh, nice. Right answer. Really? I want a city of gold. Or I do like more. I want to do more videos of Michael and Gavin, like Let's Watches. That's like my bread and butter. I love doing those videos. I just want more of that. I've kind of established myself as like their Let's Watch editor, and Ashley's like the Play Pals editor, right? You do Play Pals more times than not? Okay, yeah. And sponsored. Cool. City of Gold.
Yeah.
Hey guys, and Andy, when it comes to
Andy,
Love you, Andy.
Why don't you fit in anywhere, man? I think you're great.
It's crazy to think I'm still the most recent hire. We haven't hired anybody else since me, and it was over a year ago.
Last panel we had to have a meeting to be like, okay, guys, you were hired by this company. You're going to be on a panel. This time it's like, fuck it, it's another panel. Because, like, yeah, we're all fucking been here a year finally.
Yeah. But fuck you, sir. What's your question?
when it comes to the multi-channel Let's Plays, like the Battlefield 1 and the recent Friday the 13th,
How is it decided who will edit those, and what's the workflow for those?
Well, Kent had a huge interest in doing the Battlefield one originally, and Neil, for this most recent one for Friday the 13th, had the most open editing schedule, and also like it's usually interest-based mixed with what their scheduling looks like, what their editing load looks like, which Larry helps kind of coordinate that effort for the editors.
I have nothing else to add. That was it. That was it. It's interest plus availability.
As far as the workflow goes, it's basically you set up the project. That's a good amount of the time at the very beginning. And then you just start watching, and every time there's something with the audio that needs to be balanced, you balance it. Every time there's a gap where there's no talking, you cut the gap. But you gotta switch the channels. Generally speaking, you typically switch when someone else starts talking. But if the action is still important on one screen, you're gonna keep it there. And you just have to know how to switch tools really quickly in Premiere to keep your workflow going. So if I'm gonna use the slide tool to cheat something a little bit, if I'm gonna use the slip tool, like I'll be able to switch between selector, razor blade, and all those things really quick to just be like, oh no, I did want that cut there actually. Just move it to where I knew I wanted it. I kind of use the audio waveforms as like visual guides to where to place them. And then I just put the marker back where I just moved the thing, hit play again, and keep moving. And just get through the whole video as quickly as we can.
How many times do you think Premiere crashed while you were doing Friday the 13th? I would look over and I just see you go. But you're very quiet about it, but I can see your motion out of the corner of my eye.
Eventually you lose your voice.
I know.
Neil,
you're like very respectful to the others in the room, but I could see how mad you were getting. Like you'd be like, "Grr."
Your desk is connected to me, and I know when shit happens because it immediately shakes. I say, hey, I'm about to pick up shit on you too. The same thing happens. You'll slam on the table, and I'm like, all right.
I have the most resilient keyboard in the world.
You do.
Because
You
there's the
definitely do.
evolution of the anger. Because there'll be like the, ugh. And then the next one, it'll be the where it's crashing, and I'm like, Control S. And then I just slam on the S key over and over and over again. And then by like the 18th time when I'm like, oh, Minecraft's due tomorrow and I need to finish this up, it'll just be like, I'll just slam the keyboard.
Here's my impression of Premiere crashing in the middle of an important edit.
And then Matt's Xbox gets unplugged.
Somewhere
I don't know if it's a Windows thing or a Premiere thing, but it's a real fucking prick because it makes you kill it. It's like it stopped working. Press close the program. It's like, you fucking did this. You kill it. Don't make me kill it. I fucking hate that.
Time permitting, I have a question for everyone and a question for Larry specifically.
Everyone first, then me.
Okay. So we've got the video from Trevor kind of going over the basic editing procedure that Achievement Hunter kind of goes through. Are we looking forward to any kind of similar things based around the quirks that each editor has, such as like Andy brought up his own Andy editing things?
I just like to point out this has nothing to do with me. Just saying.
You can answer too.
I don't know if there's plans on making like another tutorial. There's definitely like updates to like since I've put that video out. Like the biggest thing would be like proxying to make your editing a little lighter. But that would be like I don't think we'll have like a specific video for every editing style. But if we ever update the tutorial, we could have like more editors involved to kind of talk about their stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd ever put out a video that's like, these are the kind of quirks that like I have or that Kent has or Ashley has. Because part of it is also just trying, like, there's the kind of in-between of like, we want to, we're here to edit, but also like play around a little bit and want to be able to enhance the video, but like we don't want to make it about us really and like take away from that. And also just that idea of, because we've talked about like having like the editor in the description and why we don't do that. Because then, like, we don't want people to have an implicit bias, be like, oh, Larry edited this one, well, I'm going to turn that off because I hate that guy. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of it, like, is more just about enjoying the team rather than the individual. And, I mean, because really we're just heightening the guys next door. So, love them.
The whole thing is adding and not subtracting from the comedy. Like,
Right.
if you can add to it at all, like, that's fine, but just don't, like, make it about you.
Yeah, I think it's also important to watch a lot of content that you enjoy, and you can kind of like get a good flavor out of like what makes you enjoy that content and develop your own like quirks in your editing. Because what you don't want to do is like see how someone in particular edits and then like just do that, because that's somebody else's flavor. You want to kind of, if you can see the result of what they're doing, then you can kind of like recreate some of those elements and make your own kind of quirks in edit yourself. Then you kind of develop your own style.
Okay. I did some borderline experimental things with the Game of Thrones Let's Watch, but every single thing I was a little unsure of. I'd always like do a little export of the exact same point, and I'd send it to Michael or Gavin and say, "Is this funny?" And they'd be like, "That's great, leave it in," or like, "That went a little too long, cut a little bit." So every single little thing I would add, I would like go to them since they are the main talent. I'd be like, "Is this okay?" And like, "It's fine, I like it." So I would always, go to them first, or Trevor.
Hello.
So my question for Larry.
Hi.
Where in the world did your loot boxes go?
They're gone.
Well,
they went to a better place. Look, you got so much stuff. I don't know what you're bitching about.
I'm not though. Like
you aren't. You're pretty okay with it.
Yeah, people have been asking me. It's a healing process. I had a problem.
Healing process.
I'm a recovering loot box hoarding, like an alcoholic version of that. Or no. A hoarding loot box version of an alcoholic.
You heard it here.
And I had a problem, and you
I solved
very
it.
meanly solved it.
No, it was nice.
I mean, we all
I loved it.
And now I don't hoard anymore. So, it's
One thing I will
baby
say,
steps.
I love that you've at least kept one of each one, because I didn't take all of them away.
Thank you for doing
I wasn't
that.
going to do that. I think you have a really cool little collection of seeing each box until next year when they're just rotated again, and I'll be like, "You're a loser."
First off, Kent, I want to say it was great eating lunch with you on Friday. That was really cool.
You're welcome. Glad to meet you too.
So what's everyone's favorite keyboard shortcut? Just in doing any
Control S.
Yep. Yeah.
Control S.
I guess I'll, Control S, of course, but I have my own favorite. I created a add edit button, and it's Shift A. I got that from an editor that does SNL, and it's amazing. It makes editing like really fast.
I actually have one like that too. It's Shift E. It disables a clip, so I'll have Alt.
Shifty, that's
L.
Larry.
Yeah. and it makes it go away. It's perfect. Yeah. But no, you hold down Alt and you can select a clip with your mouse, but then you hit Shift E and it just makes it go black.
And then I go,
it's
ow.
Not there. And you can mute the audio on a track, you can mute the visual on a track, and it's just a really quick way to just make it go away for a bit if you need it to be gone without having to like permanently delete it. It's still in there somewhere. And yeah, I once I started learning how to do that, it's completely changed my workflow and given me a lot more options in editing.
I like Control Shift K, which just puts an edit through every single track. It's just so satisfying to like cut that many things at once.
Dude, Control Z is great.
So I take a lot of screenshots, and so I downloaded this program and made my own shortcut where it's like Control Shift C, and I can make any kind of size of screenshot that I need for whatever I'm working on. So it's great for thumbnails and quickly tweeting something out.
I like the space bar. It puts this really cool space in between all your words, makes it really easy to read.
See, I'm the weird one in the room. I use a tablet when I edit. So I'm left-handed, so I edit with my tablet, and then I barely use a keyboard. But when I use a keyboard, it's a super simple shortcut. But I use the up arrow to zoom in and the down arrow to zoom out. And it's just really fast for me. It's not as high tech, but
You're not weird. Be proud of who you are. Do your thing.
Yeah.
All right?
Well,
Oh, actually, I have another favorite shortcut, which is getting Kent's attention rather than going, "Hey, Kent," because he always has he's blasting audio.
Dude,
in his ear.
I'm so deaf.
And so, what can I throw? I can't, but I don't want to lose that. That's a good one. That's my phone.
This is how it
Hold on,
works.
I have a pen. So, all right, Kent's editing. La 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 la.
Oh hey. Oh hey, Larry, what's up?
And that's how Kent knows I need it.
That's how it goes.
All right, I just wanted to start off by saying, hey Neil, how's it going? It's been a while.
How you doing, Austin?
Doing good. I think the last time I saw you, we were actually working on economics videos.
Oh yeah, you were in that program?
Yeah.
I can't remember everyone was in. It's amazing how much I forget from college until someone reminds me.
I'd like to think that was the most exciting work you've dealt with, right?
Yeah, that was the highlight of my career.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you have a question?
Yes. Yeah, I do. So with Let's Plays and all that, and you kind of touched on it, a lot of what you guys deal with is hour-plus footage that you have to edit down. And I was just kind of interested in the process that you guys go with as far as reviewing the raw footage, reviewing the clips after you've made edits, and then going on to the final review process and final export for that.
Larry. Larry deals with some of the longest edits, I think. You say hour long. Minecraft probably maintains itself as the longest in raw format. GTA might be second after that. They usually try, my voice, I'm losing it. They usually try to keep the recording like a concise length, something that's like watchable, so the edit ends up being something that's watchable.
Unless it's Sky Factory.
Unless it's Sky Factory, in which case Larry slams on his keyboard.
Actually, can you give a Reader's Digest version of that question? I was busy feeding
He
that
was
Skittles.
feeding me a Skittle.
So basically, how do you deal with the long edits? How do you figure out how to go through the raw, and how do you figure out like?
Oh, just
how to
hating
cut it down?
myself, basically. Oh, the real answer is, I mean, it is very natural where you're just kind of going through and you realize as the story's progressing on what's necessary and what's not, and how to move the story along faster. And a lot of it's really hard because you can't just give like a succinct answer. A lot of it's just feeling, and just so like kind of watching something and like knowing that like that's not going to be useful, or watching something and knowing that like, okay, if that comes back, like I'll kind of mark that as something I might cut in case like they refer to it later, but they probably won't. And yeah, I'm sorry not to give you like a super great answer, but it's just working in editorial for like a long time and just kind of getting. It's just a feeling.
Yeah, it's definitely a feeling that you develop over time, because when I first started editing Let's Plays for other people, when you record it, you know what's in it, what you want the video to look like. When it's somebody else, you don't know. You kind of go in blind and you just work your way through. And so you're wondering, like, is this too much to cut? Am I not cutting enough to meet whatever like your target length is going to be? But you pretty quickly, like, once you get the hang, once you start like editing the same people's content over and over, you get a good feeling for what your pacing is for cutting out or leaving in or whatever it is.
Yeah, and
or
I mean,
seeing the story as it's going along.
And it definitely depends from video to video, because something like Sky Factory, where you want to at least like see most of it, because there's a very slow progression, and so like cutting out 5 minutes like at once like doesn't make any sense, because then you're like, oh, how did they get that? Like, what was the jack building over there? How is it built now? And like you want to kind of see that happen. But then something like the two Bigfoot videos, the Bigfoot roleplay videos, were a really good point of like, the first one was basically almost in real time of them just screaming for half an hour. And the second one was actually like an hour-long recording that we like cut heavily down, just to kind of get like the core of what you needed for that story. And I mean, like, and I didn't go in knowing that one was going to be like cutting out 30 seconds or a minute or whatever, and one was going to be cutting out 30. You just kind of find out in the moment.
Yeah, and just from doing some heavy Let's Plays myself, talking about like you're going through, you're multicamming the whole way, and sometimes something like insane will happen, and you just have to go back and watch it like 20 times from each angle, like twice, to figure out like how exactly you're going to show that, because when there's explosions going off in every single person's camera, you just got to figure out what is the easiest way to show that to the audience so that they're not as confused as you are.
Can we start instigating an all tab? Like, up in the right where we have our names, just all. That's the explosion.
Hey everyone. First of all, I want to say thanks again to Matt and Trevor for the amazing autograph. It was a pleasure meeting you both. But
thanks, man.
my question's kind of was kind of touched on about everyone having their kind of own individual editing quirks, and Trevor and Matt also mentioned it while we were talking before about how kind of their projects kind of are unique to each person. What would you say kind of
uniquely messy? Yes.
I believe that was mentioned. What would you say? Like, I know it's very long to like describe each person's, but is there any kind of word or kind of description you can kind of give to your own kind of project or even others, that would be interesting.
I'd say for others, like Larry, Neil in particular, because I've seen their projects, very organized.
Neil's like, I thought I was organized, and he's like ridiculously organized.
He's got
it's
different
everything's like color coded.
I got it
I'm
from
like,
you, Larry. I got it from you.
Nate didn't.
Okay, the color coding I brought. But
I didn't know you could color code that stuff. I was amazed when you did that. I was like, oh, it's a rainbow.
See, mine's organized to me. So I'm sorry, whoever has to ever take it over.
Yeah, when I started, Neil had showed me the color coding that he used, and so I kind of made my own color coding. So we both have very, very rainbow-esque timelines.
We have about 10 minutes left, so let's go a little faster to get through more.
Lightning round.
Lightning round.
Has there
no
ever
metal
been
costumes.
Has there ever been an incident while working that you really hated, other than smoke bombs?
Wait, what?
Has there ever been an incident you really hated, other than the smoke bombs?
There was a period where there were so many airsoft pellets flying around the other room. I was scared to go in there to get footage.
That period still exists. Anyone else?
Oh, me?
Oh no.
The marshmallow thing was really gross.
I thought it was fun. It smelled fine. I actually didn't gag at that. I was surprised.
There's still barbecue sauce on the sofa.
There's still, yeah.
That was the
And there's still
stickiest-
marshmallow on the building.
That wasn't from the bar. That wasn't from
Jeremy.
the marshmallow. That was Michael being drunk and he just threw the bottle of Rudy's on the
Right,
ground.
I forgot about that.
And it ricocheted. It hit the carpet, the fridge, and like a binder.
Yeah. Honestly, not that much bothers me. It was the smoke bomb that really annoyed me. It was just whatever, let them do their thing. And I remember one time you were like, Matt, I was like, you guys, they did this crazy thing and you're all just looking bored. I'm like, well, yeah. It's normal.
Usually what happens is we're all working at our desk, and then Gavin comes in with something stupid, like, he'll be like, look, with a camera, and then it's like, oh, okay, we're in a video now. And then it's like something's happening. Usually it's something gross or stupid. Or both.
I got my leg zip tied to my neck. That was weird.
That was weird watching you come into the office zip-tied. I was like, what?
It was weird watching him suffer while I cut it.
We should probably do the next one. That's our fault.
That was a great day.
All right, for those of us who want to actually start our own YouTube channels and start editing and all that stuff on our own, what hardware and software would you guys recommend? Like what capture cards, microphones, editing softwares?
Probably need like a $1,200 machine, but maybe less depending on if you're doing multicam or. how
You can
cut
get away with
resolution.
a lot cheaper than that. Computers are nice. But I would say what I use is Premiere and Elgato, but you can get away with like the old Elgato, which is 30 frames a second. There's so many capture cards out there. Like, I wouldn't say, if money is a thing, don't go out there and get like the most high-end stuff. There's so many capture cards and editing softwares that are actually pretty cost effective. So really whatever works for you. What we use is Premiere though, and the Elgato HD60S. So.
Actually, following up on that question, how do you actually, what is the setup in maybe a brief way? What is the setup that you guys use to actually record every single person's perspective, regardless if it's a PC game or a console game?
We recently, maybe a couple months ago, switched to a 2 PC setup, so that way everything could go through the Elgato. So one computer is a little like simpler because all it does is capture the gameplay and the webcams, and the other computer is a little beefier to play the games, and then we also have the consoles to play the games. So yeah, that's how it goes. And then we have the mics all running through a mixer into Audacity, where it records on a multi-track.
Next.
When you have one of those like in a funk days, how do you like get over it? How do you motivate or inspire yourself to get through it and do your projects?
I hug Matt Bragg.
I look at a baby picture.
It's really weird.
Deadlines are very serious. So whether or not you're in a funk, sometimes you just gotta like, this is due tomorrow.
R/Pico memes. That gets me through it.
Starbucks.
Coffee.
What?
Hey. What gets you out of a funk, Matt Bragg?
Donuts.
There you go.
Yeah.
This side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so considering the Achievement Hunter armory going on, and how many cameras have been getting hurt, like, at what point will you actually consider getting like an armored box or riot shield to protect them and yourselves?
Listen,
We have a riot like mask, right? Yeah.
We're about halfway.
listen, it was dangerous before the weapons. I mean,
Yeah, thanks to you guys, we're halfway to a riot suit. So I mean, if you guys,
I think before we
if you wanna
had the
set one
riot
in, I'll
suit,
gladly take
we had that stormtrooper mask, which is what they used for the grappling hook video. So we have things to protect ourselves, kind of. Not up to regulation, but it's enough,
more,
I guess.
More weapons than defense.
A good offense is the best defense.
We're gonna get stabbed.
So Premiere's a bastard, but how often
Yep.
do you guys actually throw the clips into After Effects, like maybe touch up some visuals, brighten or darken it, or?
Once a year.
Yeah, I'll occasionally do that for like a dumb little skit video, but I try not to. Premiere is a little bit easier to use for just simple stuff. So
When Premiere works, it works pretty well, so it can do a lot of things. I think very rarely do we go over to After Effects or like I think is it the Audacity? No, Audition. Those are usually if there's problems or if we have a little bit of time, which hopefully we'll have more soon. But our deadlines are pretty tough. But if we have extra time to do fun stuff, then we'll take things into After Effects and maybe make some fun stuff.
Yeah, most of the time, it just the turnarounds are so tight that like trying to clean something up in After Effects isn't worth the time. And sometimes, and maybe this is just my own sensibilities, but something's funnier with just that super lo-fi. Like we could have VFX'd ourselves up like a Diet Coke factory, but I think it's funnier to just have me draw something and then Kent puts in some like stock smoke effects, and that just like I think that looks way better than. Well, no, not way better. I like it way better. I like it.
No,
way better
it looks way better.
Oh, thanks.
I have never opened After Effects, so I think though when it's like if there's webcam
What
involved, I
is
think just like
After
the
Effects?
raw zoom in is just it's funny enough to me. Like I think it's funny. That's my kind of humor, so that's what I bring to the table, I guess, with my edits.
yeah, I'm currently trying to teach myself how to use it because it makes GIFs look better. So it's fun to use.
Have some of you guys had to smooth out some of your editing idiosyncrasies when you first started working here, so that way you meshed with the rest of the editors?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. What approaches have you guys taken to doing that?
I mean, I had to just like be a lot more consistent in my workflow. Before, when I was working more with indie films and sketches, like it was always project by project how it'd be structured. But this is formulaic in a sense of like there's going to be game capture and audio in this file format. I'm going to have a name burn folder, and just getting used to the setup. Yeah, being very consistent, and also the more consistent it is, the easier it is for me to have my workflow later. So that was all really just learning the setup.
See, for me, I didn't know Premiere when I was hired, so I had to figure that out pretty quick. But I was cutting on Avid before, which is way different. But once I learned Premiere, it's pretty easy software. So if you know Final Cut, you can get up on Premiere pretty quick. So.
Andy made the joke of going to Sony Vegas, but you effectively did that. Like going from Avid to Premiere is kind of like doing that.
They're two different spectrums, completely different. So.
All right, we're gonna have to go lightning now.
Lightning.
Okay.
Double lightning.
So, I guess for those of you who when you have to put in text for like to respond to something that one of the guys said, do you guys tend to keep stuff to like your own editing style, like you have a specific text, or do you try to make it fit with whatever video content is on screen at the time?
Fit with whatever the video is.
For me, the second one maybe probably fit with the video.
I generally only do it if they direct me personally. Like if it's Michael saying, Andy, do this, blah, 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 I'll be like, fuck you, or something like that. Yeah.
I have a default font. I use Futura by default, but if there's a better font for the game, I'll use the better font.
Yeah, I actually have a specific font that I use. It happens very rarely, but if it does, I think it's Troika is the one I use.
Okay, it varies from video to video, but how long does it usually take to edit a 45-minute video or so?
A day, if you're good. Yeah. Technical issues.
A day if there's no massive tech issues and you're able to work like the whole day.
Oh, hi. So I had a question, but somebody already asked it, so excuse the generic question I have now. For people who are starting out as an editor to edit their own stuff, what are some tips?
Volunteer to assist other editors, especially on set with DIT. You can start getting gigs with indie filmmakers that way, and then start cobbling things for a demo reel as soon as possible. Get a website, promote yourself for assistant editing work with your demo reel and website, and then transition to full-time editing when the opportunity comes up. And don't sell yourself short once you know what you're worth.
Don't stop cutting, because once you stop, you'll fall off, and everything changes so fast. So just keep cutting.
In addition to like doing it, just like getting practice doing it, watching a bunch of stuff. So if you want to edit movies, watch a bunch of movies. If you want to edit Let's Plays, watch a bunch of Let's Plays. It gives you a great vision into the field that you're in, and it helps you kind of develop your own flavor, I guess.
Another thing you can do is when you edit something, like have people watch it, like your friends, and then if possible, be in the room. Like look at the reactions that you're getting. Like make sure that if you were trying to make something funny, that people laugh. Like if it was trying to be scary, you're making people scared. Getting that like audience feedback is really important to like creating a style.
Can I go? Okay. So who would you say, if any of them, is like the hardest to edit for, like as far as audio and stuff like that?
Jeff.
Oh, you said Jeff too.
Jeff. He's very loud, and then he just mumbles.
That dude, I swear, boosts his mic every time because I know we turn him down in there. I don't know. He can do whatever he wants.
And Gavin has his moments too.
Gavin is also a mumbler. Like he's really funny, but he just mumbles.
And sometimes he backs away farther like this, so it's harder to hear him. And then he'll get up here and scream, so it makes it a little more challenging.
So when are we gonna have the Achievement Hunter production team Achieve shirt?
Trevor?
That's a merch question. I don't know. We can ask for it. Let's try to, like 30 seconds. Let's try to get the rest of the, there's 4 people left, so let's try to do it.
I like your hat, by the way.
How
It's a
how
cool hat.
often do you see the other parts of Rooster Teeth's like Funhouse and Couch Hop, and like how often do you see their editors, or like do you edit their stuff too?
We don't edit their stuff. They edit their own stuff. We rarely see their editors. We mostly see their talent periodically.
Basically here, I saw like Omar and Peak, and then I was like, hey, I haven't seen you in a year. And they said, yup, and that was it.
Best Overwatch character, and Andy, whatever happened to Patricia?
Fuck off.
Lucio, next question.
Zenyatta.
Symmetra.
No, it's Farah. Let's be honest.
Doomfist! I forgot about Doomfist.
Hey, so for those of you that have done other kinds of media and edited for short form or narrative or reality or whatever you've done, what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced in switching over to gameplay editing, and what are some of the biggest differences in that?
For me, it was duration probably, because I mean I came from cutting trailers, so we're talking 2.5 minutes, and then you come to 45-minute gameplay videos. So it's a little more challenging, and you don't have to be as tight with the edits, but you still need to be tight enough to keep the audience entertained. So.
Yeah, and I did a lot of doc stuff. So going from like all like people live action to gameplay was a bit jarring. But I mean, they're still stories, so you're still telling stories.
It's like if you've learned how to speak Spanish super, super well, and then one year you gotta learn Italian. You've got a good basis, linguistics, but like you have to translate it over. So I knew storytelling, I knew how to keep people's attention, but I had to like discover what is the story in gaming, what is the attention-grabbing moments in gaming. But once I figured out the parallels, it was pretty quick.
They pretty much said everything I was going to say. Mainly, I think that it was a benefit that I kind of learned that kind of editing, and then brought those kind of sensibilities to Let's Play editing. I mean, it's still editing. Yeah, like Ashley said, it's still storytelling. So I mean, yeah, kind of having that gamut is great. So.
Hi, this is a question for Matt and Trevor. I kind of messed up at your autograph signing. I was wondering if it was possible to get you guys to sign this. Like, can I find you guys at some point later? Or
Totally,
something?
we'll be here.
Yeah, we'll step off to the side right after this.
All right, thank you.
Cool.
But there's
One more? Of course.
Hi.
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 What's your favorite colors?
Blue.
love you.
Me.
Purple.
Squirtle blue.
What's yours?
I'm still torn between blue and green. So both of those.
Trevor lives in conflict.
I mean, it's gotta be orange.
I'm a green boy.
I like purple.
Pink and purple.
I like pink.
Woo! Thank you, everyone.
Is that it? Thank you.
Lannon,
Love your
lightsaber
hair.
fight. Let's go.
Go.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for coming out. My God.
Thank you.
Get
him.
Get
Get him.
him.
Watch the Guardian. Watch the Guardian.
Bro, just stop in the middle of it. God.
Thank you for coming, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.